Good morning, everyone. It's the morning of day 2 on this trip. I slept in because I'm not moving camp today and I was dead tired from yesterday from a long day. And we're just going to be fixing this camp up and maybe doing some chores on another portage to the next lake. Gonna have to rebuild this busted up fire ring among other tasks. Let's go get the food barrel. This is my small 30-liter barrel. It's light, and I often tie it to a tree. So if a bear starts to mess with it, then it'll make a racket. And my tent is right over there. So I'll wake up and hear it, hopefully, and then be able to scare the bear away. In theory, anyway. So I'll get this undone and we'll get breakfast started. Waiting for the water to boil with the alcohol stove. Seems to take forever, which is maybe psychological because there's almost no sound as opposed to the from a pressurized gas stove. I sure miss my fire, but we'll fix that later. It's one of those days where it looks like it's going to rain, and it could be raining off and on all day. Big cumulus clouds. Camera's not exposing for it, but big puffies starting to grow up in altitude. Big flat bottom gray clouds. Camera's not exposing too well here, but they're grayer than it looks on the screen. And I can see the big grays forming all around me. Yeah, just in the space of this little video clip where I've seen this big cumulus cloud over here. It's not exposing well. Let me see if I can. There we go. Right at the bottom of the screen. It's growing by the second. Yep, it's gonna rain. Got the tarp back there. It's kind of a dark, miserable, damp spot full of mosquitoes, but that's where we're gonna run to, grab all the stuff, throw it in the barrel, grab stuff that's boiling, put the stove out, run it over there, grab stuff off the line, the usual. Camera gear, make sure it's secured. Yeah, it's going to be one of those days. I kind of knew it from the weather report before the trip. There we go. I'm going to let that boil for a few seconds here because there was swimmers in there. By that I mean little crustaceans, little water critters that were swimming around in there. And they concentrate bacteria and things in their guts because they're filter feeders, and so they concentrate it. So I'm just going to make sure they're dead. Well, although I got blue sky above me, I got raindrops coming down. It's not too bad. But I think I better move to the tarp. Okay, here we are. All moved under the tarp. That was a bit of a project. Okay. It's all spongy moss here, so I got a little rock for my pot. If you put a hot pot down on the moss, it'll singe the moss, and then the moss will all stick to it, and then it'll all go in your stove. etc. Okay, comedy of errors here. Cheers. It's a little challenging filming under the tarp here with just the conditions we have with the terrain. It's one of those days where it's a rain cloud followed by bright sun, rain cloud followed by bright sun. It's just before 11 and I haven't really started breakfast yet, if you can believe it. I slept in till 9 because it's not a travel day and I needed the rest, and just the move under the tarp here from out by the lakeshore in the sun. All the nonsense there. I'm going to try some OvaEasy eggs. That's olive oil in the pan. Got the Trangia, the other simmering I carry too. I got it open about that much. And it's not very hot, so oh, there's the rain. Okay, let's run this full blast. Got to be careful on this moss. Everything can tip over. Add some Tex-Mex. It's a little hot, so we'll put the simmer ring back on, but we'll put her wide open. There, that's a good simmer. It's a little bit dangerous with an alcohol stove on this moss substrate, because if I was to tip the stove over, there'd be a liquid alcohol fire, and you can't stomp those out. So it'd be interesting how, well, you can stomp them out, but you risk getting alcohol on your clothing and your clothing igniting and stuff like that. So I'm almost getting ready to go back to gas stoves, pressurized gas stoves. But it sure is nice having the quiet of the alcohol stove. It's not really a stove, it's a burner, I guess. Don't know if the camera can pick that up, the rain on the tarp. It's bright sun, but there's these heavy clouds that are just drifting right over it low, and they're just dumping rain. Okay, we might be ready to flip this. Yep, perfect. Now it is important to not smear food, spill food, and put a greasy utensil down in the moss, because that's just going to be a bear smell that is going to be there. You're not going to see it. You could step in it, spread it around, get it on your boots. So this is my little wash basin, and I'll rest the spatula in that. Actually, I can leave it here on the fry pan because there's no fire. When there's a fire, you're going to melt your spatch, so you have to take it off. Well, it looks like a fried mosquito got in there. It'll be part of the meal. Yeah, so smell management, scent management for bears. It's really important that you don't spill stuff, and especially don't get food smells on the outside of the barrel or whatever you're packing your food in. Okay, I think we're ready. Yeah, we're ready. Okay. More water. Get that going while we're eating. Okay. Ready to eat. Here we go. Look at that, eh? Still can't get OvaEasy eggs in Canada, so I have to go down to the States. I got them. Just refilled the stove, or the burner. Next course for breakfast is a hot cereal made in the fry pan. My bowl is all messed up with the OvaEasy mix, so I can make hot cereal in the fry pan. Sorry for the angle on the camera there too. I think my head is cut off maybe. It's just because I have to get everything under the tarp. So the camera and the tripod are under the tarp. Oh, sorry, I have to measure this. Don't know if the camera can see that. I don't have a flip out screen on my camera. Add some water before that burns. Go. And I forgot to get my dried fruit out of the barrel, wherever that is. We'll add the crunchies here. These are brand buds. I could have had all these pre-mixed as individual servings, but I was running short on time, so I bulk packaged it, so I have to measure it out each time, which is what I do for long expedition trips of many days. Sorry, many weeks. This won't take very long because the oatmeal is, I think it's 2-minute oats. It's not the instant stuff, but it doesn't take that long. But I got to get the dried fruit. I gotta find it in the barrel here. There it is. Okay. That's too hot. Put that on there. A couple of dates. These are craisins. Craisins are cranberries with a little bit of processing on them. I think vegetable oil and a little bit of sugar or something like that. Those are raisins. Okay. Oh shoot. I flipped them right out of the pan. Stupid, stupid. Bear food, bear alert. Okay. Should have put the fruit in first because that would soften it up. This is filtered water, by the way. It's pretty swampy here. The water's actually below normal. A beaver dam must have blew out on the end of this lake because this lake is really low, really low. Like it's in late summer, early fall low conditions. So beaver dam must have busted. So the water's really low, it's kind of swampy, and it's full of pollen right now. There's pollen on the surface and suspended, and on all those pollen grains will be bacteria from the water concentrating, so that's why I'm not drinking the water straight from shore here, and I'm filtering it and boiling it. Okay, I think that's ready. Let's see. Give it a blast to full of heat. Get the water going for hot coffee and wash water. It already was boiled, but I'll top it up. Okay. Hot breakfast. Well, the mosquitoes are getting in there already. Get that guy out of there. Very good. Don't have to add sugar. The dried fruit and the bran buds have sugar in them. This is the first time I've made this breakfast concoction, and I can see that my measurements are too generous. This is too much. Hi folks, if you have just joined the video, this is morning day 2 of a short solo trip where I'm going to spend some time clearing some portage on a few trails. And right now I'm under the tarp. I don't think the camera frame will pick up the tarp, but it was raining for breakfast, so just finished that. Haven't cleaned up yet. I slept in till 9:30. Didn't get to retire last night It was late night until about 11:30. Anyway, slept in till about 9:30. Set up breakfast down by the water in the sun and the wind for less bugs, and started to rain off and on. So came in here under the tarp, had the tarp set up last night, and just finished breakfast and just finishing coffee, and have to clean up the pots and pans. And it's almost, let's see, it's just past 11:30. So it's almost lunchtime and I'm still doing breakfast here. But I'm not in any rush. What I'm planning on doing this afternoon is fixing up this campsite a bit, fixing up the fire rocks which have been torn apart by a bear or by somebody, and also if I have the energy, loading up my cutting tools and heading across the lake to the next portage into another lake beyond that I've been to before. And I haven't been over that portage in a few years, so I imagine it's full of blowdown. So I would spend the afternoon cutting the blowdown there. That's why I brought the big silky katana boy, which you saw in the earlier footage on this trip video. If you notice, I don't always look at the camera. One reason is because I'm not very good with the camera. But another reason is I'm just always scanning all the time, just out of habit. Because I've had black bears sneak up on me before. Not predatory, but sniffing around in broad daylight. So I'm just always scanning, just to be aware of my surroundings. And because I don't like to look at the camera all the time. Okay, time to clean up this mess.